Hello everyone, we are Group 6.
Okay, in my part, I will talk about the agile methodologies.
Okay, first part. In February 2001, 17 software developers met in Utah to discuss lightweight development methods. They published the Manifesto for Agile Software Development, which covered how they found best ways of developing software by doing it. Okay, Agile software development is based on an incremental, iterative approach instead of in-depth planning at the beginning of the project. Agile methodologies are open to changing requirements over time and encourages constant feedback from the end users. Cross-functional teams work on iterations of a product over a period of time. Business stakeholders and developers must work together to align the product with customer needs and company goals. The goal of each iteration is to produce a working product. Agile focuses on flexibility, continuous improvement, and speed. Here are some of the top advantages of Agile. First one is change is embraced because with shorter planning cycles, it's easy to accommodate and accept changes at any time during the project. Second one is end goal can be unknown because in the beginning, the end goal is not clearly defined. Then faster high-quality delivery because during the process of the project or break down the project into iterations allows team to focus on high-quality development, testing, and collaboration. The other three are strong team interaction, customers are heard, continuous improvement. Because Agile projects encourage feedback for users and team members throughout the whole project. So lessons learned can be used to improve future iterations. There are also some disadvantages of Agile methods, such as planning can be less concrete and the final product can be very different because the project is always changes, we can't control it. The others, such as team must be knowledgeable, time commitment from developers, documentation can be neglected. There are 6 steps of Agile methods. The first one is planning. We could break down the idea into smaller pieces of work. The second one is analyze the requirements of stakeholders. The third one is design the product. And then we could develop and testing the product. Finally, after testing, we could provide the product to the customers.
Hello everyone, thanks for Jacky's excellent presentation. And next, let's talk about the waterfall. First is the conception. Waterfall methodology originated from highly structured environment where changes are too expensive and even impossible. It follows a sequential and linear process, especially for engineering and IT. Gantt chart and bar chart are used to indicate the start and end dates. Before the team moves to the next stage, requirements must be approved and reviewed by customer, and then the team can stand back unless we start from the beginning. And next is the advantage. First, it's easy to use and manage, and it can be divided into 3 reasons. First, it follows the same sequential pattern for each project, and no peer-reviewed knowledge are needed before starting. And third, it has specific deliverables and review because of rigid model. And the second advantage is related to its enforced discipline. By focusing on the requirements and the design before starting, the team is easy to share progress with stakeholders and customers and reduce the risk of delay. Lastly, the methodologies requires a well-documented approach. It's easy to see more details about past and the future of paper trail, and the document could bring better understanding for coders and tests. All in all, waterfall is best used for simple, unchanging projects. And next is disadvantage. The detriment of waterfall is the low competency in dealing with changing as a consequence of its sequential and linear model. Changes can't be easily accommodated. It's very difficult and expensive to go back once the team completes the phase, even though they didn't reach the requirements. Software isn't delivered until late. More than 2 phases needed to be completed before the beginning of coding. As a result, stakeholders won't see any working software until the late of life cycle. And next, getting accurate requirements can be challenging. Talking to customers and stakeholders and identify their requirements always be difficult, especially to point out exactly what they want initially. And the last is develop cycle. There are 8 stages in waterfall and they must all happen in sequential order. Today, we are concentrate on the last 5 dimensions. First is requirement gathering and analysis, which is used to see its feasibility and reasonability. And the second, design, is to formulate specific contents in order to understand what actions need to be taken and what should they look like. And next is implementation process. Any flowcharts created in the design phase will be translated into programming language. And when it comes to verification, once the mission is complete, the deliverables need to be tested for any errors, and then to be transferred to customers. And last but not least, maintenance is to deal with the additional problems with the using of deliverables. They may find additional problem to make the product stay effect. And that's all my presentation. Next, let's welcome Aaron.
If we want to explore the differences between waterfall and agile, we can sum up into 2 words: rigid and flexible. Waterfall is a strict, rigid process, whereas agile is flexible. Here's more differences between them. Waterfall is a structured process where you can't start on a new phase until the previous one has been completed. On the other hand, agile is a flexible process allowing you to move through the project as you like. Waterfall is a sequential and agile is not linear. In waterfall projects, you can change things that have done, whereas agile accommodates changes all the time. There are not many similarities between agile and waterfall. Agile was specifically created to be the opposite of waterfall. However, you can say that both agile and waterfall have the same goal. They both want to deliver quality products in an efficient way. However, agile could sometimes include several iterative small waterfalls. So, when we should use waterfall and when to use agile? When the project have characteristic below, we recommend use waterfall. Projects are expected to have little scope change during the process. If the project is simple, that won't have some unpredictable difficulties. Clear and fixed requirements. And your client know what they really want at the beginning of the project. When the project have characteristic below, we recommend use agile. We can't have a clear definition of final result. If the scope may change during the process. Clients want quick alpha result, and the project is new and unknown. In other words, unpredictable.
Hello everyone, now it's my turn to introduce the last part of our presentation. We have learned a lot of knowledge about waterfall and agile. Have you think about which one is better? We can see from the graph, in 2012, 42% is successful when using agile, but only 14% is successful in waterfall, and 57% of waterfall is challenged, while agile is 49%. And 29% of waterfall got failed. Agile is only 9%. So generally speaking, agile is better than waterfall in 2012 according to this graph. But we cannot say agile is better for every project. For example, if the project has a clear picture of what we want, fixed requirements, and we are working on a relatively simple project, then we don't expect to deal with changes, or our team is not in a mature enough stage of agile, then waterfall is better for us. And before you choose a methodology, you should ask yourself 3 questions. Is it going to be changing rapidly? Do you know how exactly what you want? And do you think the 2 methodologies are good enough? If they are not good enough, then you can think about the hybrid methodology, Agile and Agile. So what is Agile? Agile means adding agile methodology into the waterfall process. It can increase speed and quality. In an agile project, as we all know, we should break out the research, strategy, and planning phases into tasks and proceed with sprints to complete them. The development phase would be just like any other agile project, with more information up front. And you also don't need to wait for one phase to end to start the following phases, which is traditional in pure waterfall. With Agile, when the project can begin, it should begin. And Agile has a more negative connotation than Agile. The definition of Agile of Wikipedia is a group of software development methodologies that result from slipping from Agile back into waterfall, doing a lot of short waterfalls and thinking it is Agile, waterfall model masquerading as Agile software development. Agile adopts agile practices like short iterations, daily stand-ups, or continuous integration on top of the waterfall model without really changing the traditional waterfall model. Thanks, that's all.